In my last video, I started by telling us that God heard their cry and came to deliver them. If we look at that place I read in Exodus chapter number 2 and verse number 25, it says, "So God looked on the Israelites and was concerned about them." Being concerned about them drew his attention to delivering them from the slavery they have been into for 400 and something years. But permit me to lead you through the process of that deliverance. What the Jewish nation is clamoring for is freedom and nothing but that. In many countries of Africa, we are clamoring for freedom. And it is very, very important because man wasn't created to be a slave from the beginning. That is why being under oppression is not part and parcel of human nature. If we look at God who has come to deliver them, he has to go through a process that will incapacitate the government from coming back to take over the ownership or lordship of these people when they are free. It is one thing to agitate for freedom as a nation. It is another thing to be free indeed. Permit me to say this. Many African nations are claiming that they are free, but they are free in quotes. In the actual sense, they are not free because there is a manipulation and influence, undue influence from their colonial masters. Let's take, for instance, the Burkina Faso that is taking a new shape today, the land of the honest people. They have been there as free nation from their colonial masters. But you could recall what happened in 1987 on one of their leaders. I want us to know that when God comes to free a nation, is different from human beings working for their freedom. It is high time we engage the God of the Jews in Africa to come and help us and deliver us from all manner of slavery. It's not only colonial slavery, but economic slavery, political slavery, as well as sinful slavery. Oftentimes, the way we behave proves that we are slaves to bad character. We are slaves to evil tendencies. We have to engage this God who can deliver. We are crying and clamoring for deliverance, for freedom. And this God came. Look at the process. The process that God started taking is a process that will end the nation in believing that there is God that is with these people that they can't fight. How did the matter unfolded? Remember, what we are talking about is what qualifies God to give the first law in the constitution of the land. You shall have no other God before me. What made him qualified to give that as the first law in that very constitution? He created everything and he delivered the people that he is giving this very commandment from slavery, which no other person was able to do. That is what we are emphasizing. So don't be carried away by the narrative I'm about to present, because I'm going to take us through the process in which God delivered these people, the process through which the great God delivered the Jewish nation from the land, from the hand of Egypt. Remember, Egypt is one of the nations in Africa. But these people we are talking about, the Jewish nation, is over there in the Asian continent, which is the Middle East. But we want to look at the narrative from the Holy Scripture. How this God came and freed them from slavery and now told them, don't ever have any other God before me, because I did what no other God could do. Permit me to read Exodus chapter 19, and verse number 4 and 5, and it says, you yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possession, although the whole earth is mine. Have you seen the essence of that law? That now he has delivered them. In keeping to this law, this nation will be unique and different from other nations of the earth, and they will be called the belonging of the Lord, even though the whole earth belongs to God, because he created all the nations of the earth. All important question at this juncture is, what will Africa do so that they will become belongings of the great God that created the whole universe? What will Christians do so that they will take the position given to them as people that belong to this great God that did wonders in Egypt? In my next video, I will start unfolding the steps, the processes in which God took the nation of Israel through, as well as the people of the Egyptians, and finally he delivered them. It is a journey that will be so interesting and exciting. I remain Pastor Elisha, the rising voice in Africa and the reformer with a difference.